Hi Tulsa County, Ethan Hutchins here with the Board of County Commissioners for our second edition of Commissioner's Corner. And today I'm joined with Commissioner Lonnie Sims, District 2 Commissioner and Chair. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Ethan. Welcome to District 2. As you can see, a lot of work going on in District 2, just like there is with our maintenance crews. So we hear that quite often around the barn.
Yeah.
So glad to have you out here, and glad to have you in Jinx America, part of our district.
Happy to be here. We did choose a noisy location, so hopefully those watching can bear with us. But yeah, let's just start off talking about you and
Sure.
your journey to get here to the commissioners.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. A lot of people ask me, how in the world did you get involved in public service? It's been over 20 years, and I ask myself the same question. How in the heck did I get into public service? The easiest answer is free dinner. It started with an offer, seriously, of free dinner to attend Leadership Jinx, which was a meeting once a month to really learn about your city, to learn how you plan a city, to learn how you grow a city, to learn about the government framework and what we consider at the state level the legislative process, but the policy-making process here at the local level. And I thought, why wouldn't you want to do that? With an opportunity to learn more about your community, what's coming to the community, why would you not want to do that? And so took the opportunity to jump in, really enjoyed it. It was at a time when Jinx was about 8,500 people. Obviously, we've grown a lot since then. But there was very few people out there that were willing to step up and serve on the Planning Commission in some of these leadership positions. So they had a couple of spots open on the Planning Commission. I said I'd be more than happy to serve again, because you get to, one, have a say in your community, what the future is going to be, but also just to really know what's coming to town, to get to know more of the leaders and more of the community leaders.
So since becoming a Tulsa County Commissioner, what has been the most fun or the most exciting thing that you've been able to experience so far in this role?
Simple answer, people. People are just tremendous. A lot of people ask you, they give you a lot of acknowledgement because you're the public official. Hey, it's not us, it's the people in our community that really step up and serve. Oftentimes, 100% volunteer hours to do it. I thank the companies for letting them let their employees get out and encouraging them to support the different events within the community, but for us to really get engaged when it comes to when we have developments, to get involved in the meetings, to get involved in just feedback to us, to let us know what are you looking for in the future of your community, where those potholes are. It can be as simple as that. Mm-hmm. I always say I've had people call me really upset, and they'll even catch themselves and say, sorry, I'm yelling at you. And I just tell them, hey, if I don't know, I can't do anything about it. So I don't care how you tell me, scream it at me, email me, call me. It's important for me to know, to give me an opportunity to actually make a difference and hopefully find a solution and help.
So what are your top goals this year as the Tulsa County Commissioner for District 2?
A lot of top goals, probably first and foremost when I came in as chairman, is to really understand the organization. There's things coming in when you're campaigning that you think you understand about an organization, but once you get in there, you really learn the fine details of what needs improved, what is really working efficiently, and we shouldn't mess with it. Mm-hmm. Big thing for me, what I heard from the voters was transparency. That was something they were really looking for to change. We hit the ground running. We converted a government relations position to what we call the Office of Government Efficiency and Transparency. That position is paying big dividends already within the organization, and you see that in the transparency initiatives, in that now we're streaming online. We're getting more information out to the community. You being here, Ethan, is a tremendous advancement in that effort, doing these kind of instructional and really just get to know the people within our organization is helping a lot. I think people learn more about their county government and exactly what we do for them on a day-to-day basis.
Well, moving on to a big topic that you as the chair have had to deal with recently is finding the next executive director for TAEMA. Can you talk to me about the status on the applications and those who have already interviewed for the position?
Sure. Yeah, first and foremost, that's a position of public trust. And that's one thing I found in my 20 years of government service is you can't plan for these kind of things, especially on a personal level. When you have something like that happened to our previous executive director, but it does give you an opportunity to really take a hard look at the organization and make the changes that need to be made. This organization was formed back in 1961. So a lot of things have changed when it comes to emergency response, when it comes to the way we do incident command, that have improved. Technology's improved tremendously. So we're really looking for an executive director that wants bring a high amount of credibility and public trust to the position. I think that's necessary coming out of where we've been, but also someone who can look forward. How can we shape this organization for the future so it's going to best serve this community and best prepare us for the emergencies we know are coming. One thing I learned at the Capitol, we did a after action interim study on the floods of 2019. We brought in all the stakeholders from the Corps of Engineers to state officials, local officials, county officials, tribal officials, farmers, people who were flooded out in these neighborhoods like Town and Country, to really get their input and insight to what did we do right, what did we do wrong, what can we do better. And coming out of that, I think you see a lot of those changes when it comes to the levee. The amount of money we have secured and invested that will rebuild levee A and B, which are critical. We've got 10,000 people that we protect behind those levees, $2 billion in assets. It would be catastrophic to this community to have that levee fail. And we came very close. We were probably tested more than we've ever been tested when it comes to the capabilities of the personnel we have here to maintain the levee, but also the levee itself. I don't think we want to go through that again. We want to make dang sure that risk is minimized as much as possible. It had actually been rated unacceptable in 2007. So you think about that, that's, we're looking at 12 years before the flood of 2019.
Sure.
So, by God's grace and the Oklahoma National Guard, we were able to garner the resources we needed to preserve that levee and protect the people of this community so we didn't have a catastrophic breach like you see in New Orleans. Anybody who has Netflix, you probably watch those. You want to know what keeps me up at night? That's what keeps me up at night. It's kind of the silent killer. Nobody thinks about it till it happens, but when it does, it's catastrophic to the community. Here we are, how many years after Katrina, and still extremely difficult for New Orleans to get back on its feet.
Well, can you touch on your commitment to improving the infrastructure of the levee so we do avoid something like what happened in 2019 from happening again?
Yeah, great question. Right after the flood of 2019, obviously at the Capitol, at the state Capitol, I was at the state Capitol then as a state rep for House District 68. We did the interim study, but we were able to immediately plug into our federal delegation that was able to go out and get an EDA grant for $3 million. One thing that we had a lot of problems with the pumps. This equipment, levee was built in 1947, so all this equipment is outdated, way past its prime. So we immediately knew we need to upgrade our pumping stations. So we went out and got that funding for it. And just to show you how slow that process is, we are right on the tail end of finally completing those upgrades. So, 2019, it's 2025, that's 6 years. So that tells you how long it takes to go through that process. But in the interim, we also secured over almost $200 million worth of funding at the state, federal, and local level that will rebuild these levees and preserve them for the next, 50 to 75 years if everything goes as planned. So the big thing was identify what our weaknesses, what our deficiencies were, and make those improvements and really get with all partners and bring all resources to bear to make sure we can garner the kind of resources we need to do it right.
Speaking of improvements, I know the District 2 maintenance barn is very near and dear to your passion on trying to make a better work environment for the employees that work out there in the Highway District. Can you talk about what you want to do out there and kind of the long-term goals for the barn?
Yeah, people are my passion. And so when I swore in January 1st, the third day on the job as chairman, we have a major winter storm that's bearing down on us. So, you know, me being a kind of hands-on kind of commissioner, that's what I was at the city level and the state level. I wanted to get out there and kind of see how prepared are we for this winter storm that's coming to our district. Get out there, I obviously see our barn was built in 1965. When it rains, it floods. It's got a lot of issues. I would say it's very primitive out there when you consider a lot of counties across the state and counties, districts within Tulsa County, where maintenance facilities have been upgraded 7 years ago, and they have kind of state-of-the-art facilities. District 2 does not. And to tell you kind of how backwards we were, I walk out into to the shop area and I see 2 dump trucks full of sand, and I'm like, okay, what's the story here? And they said, well, we can only pull in 2 trucks full of sand inside to protect them, so at least we'll have 2 dry loads of sand, you know, once the storm clears, to get out and start spreading on the road. And I'm like, okay, why only 2? And they were like, well, walk out here behind the barn. So I'll walk out behind the barn, and you easily recognize what the problem is. We don't even have a cover for our sand pile. And so when these storms come in, they typically rain first, and then it freezes, and then it snows. And anybody who's pushed a fertilizer spreader in their front yard, when you have frozen or clumpy, it's not going to spread. And so frozen sand's not going to spread very well.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've kind of got an old school superintendent that in the summer when we have all these windstorms and the trees get knocked down and limbs fall, he piles that up, brush beside the sand pile. And so once emergency is declared, he can light a fire that actually melts the pile and dries the sand out so we can load the trucks and go spread it.
Wow.
So that's kind of where we were at. This is a starting point. A lot of our paver went kaputs. I mean, it was done. First paving job of the year. I asked my superintendent, what do you mean it's done? Like, we can fix it, but it's going to take a month? And he said, no, it's done. Like, it's finished. It's got 10,000 hours. It needs to be replaced. So we've got our paver replaced. We've got a new track hoe. We've got a new roller. And that really is the initiative priority, is we need to modernize our facilities. But most importantly, and I think that was your question, we've got to protect the people that are working in this facility with the kind of equipment that's modern, that has the seat belts, that has the technology that's going to protect them out on the roads. But also within the facility, the shop area is actually an old design where the inventory office and the superintendent's office is right off the shop floor.
Yeah.
So if you ever had a flash fire on the shop floor, they have no escape route. Mm-hmm. They are literally stuck in those offices. So immediately we got a trailer, and I appreciate my fellow commissioners for supporting me on this, but we got an office trailer where we were able to move the superintendent and the office clerk outside to that facility. We were able to move the other people to the front offices where they were protected. And so that was the immediate goal, is just, hey, let's get our people protected. Once we have that in place, let's really get to looking forward on how can we modernize these facilities for the future, because it's a growing area. It'll be an area that grows tremendously over the next 20 years. We need to adapt and be ready for that growth, and to put in the kind of infrastructure upgrades that need to be done to protect the people of West Tulsa and Berry Hill and Prattville and those areas, and throughout District 2.
Let's talk about the diversity of your district. You really do have one of the most diverse districts in Tulsa County. How do you manage where you have small towns and the metro as a commissioner?
Sure.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you mention it, because it really serves my background well. A lot of people don't know I grew up in a very small town, graduated with 35 people, but yet I repped the Metro District for 6 years in the Oklahoma State House, in House District 68. So I used to kid around at the Capitol, I can speak both languages, you know, big city and small town. And it's the truth. When you look at our district, that's exactly what we have here. And really, when I thought about running for county commission, one, my experience, but two, my background, I felt I could really serve this community, because I understand the challenges that we face in all these areas and how to bring resources to bear that will assist people in these areas. So I'm blessed to serve this kind of district, because I do love people and I do love challenges, and knowing that they're different in these areas, and you have different constituencies. You got to find that right balance as a representative of the people in this district, to where you're serving both and not showing favoritism to one versus the other. I think in District 2, we've got a lot of areas that we need to address, so I think that's going to be really easy to serve both these constituents, but I would say my background really benefits me in this case because I have lived and served in both types of communities, and again, just blessed to serve them.
Well, Commissioner, thank you for this great conversation. Really important topics that you're working on in District 2. I know there's a lot more we can talk about, but we've got more opportunities down the road, so thank you again.
Hey, thank you, Ethan. Appreciate the time. Appreciate you coming to District 2.